Hey guys, Michelle here. I remember back when my kids were really young and I was running a law practice and just had my hands in a lot of things and life felt really, really full. And I remember that I used to keep telling myself that this was just a really busy season. And once, I was able to settle that case, or once my kids slept through the night, or once this project wrapped up, or once we got through the holidays, or once things slowed down, life was going to get easier. And what I've noticed working with a lot of high achieving women who are also raising kids over the years is that it never actually does. It never actually gets easier because there's always the next thing, right? There's the next project and the next transition and the next thing that your family needs from you. And the women I work with are just so capable. You guys are so committed, and it's also exhausting, right? For waiting for that relief that just doesn't come. So I have created and want to offer you something different. On June 3rd, I'm hosting a free live workshop called the Capacity Audit. And in just 60 minutes, you're going to find out exactly where your nervous system needs to expand so that your full life stops feeling like too much. It's not so much about doing less or scaling back or overhauling your whole schedule, but I want to teach you where you can get exponentially better at handling all the things you're handling. So you're going to leave with your personal capacity profile. And I'm really excited about this part, your single highest leverage move. You're going to know exactly the one thing that you need to go out and change so that your days actually feel different. So it's free. I'm teaching it live. There is going to be a replay available for a limited time, but I would love to see you there. You can go ahead and register. The link for it is in the show notes. Grab your spot, or you can go to michellegrosser.com/audit. All right, let's jump into today's episode. Welcome to the Calm Mom Podcast, the show for ambitious women ready to get off the hot mess express. I know you've got a lot going on. You work so hard. You're raising an incredible family, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. I'm your host, Michelle Grosser. I'm a certified master life coach, attorney, wife, and mom. And years ago, I was right where you are. I was running a busy law practice while raising a family, and I was on the fast track to burnout. I thought I just needed to be more organized or have better routines, but it was learning how to heal and regulate my nervous system that expanded my capacity to gracefully hold more of this big, beautiful life. You too are worthy of an extraordinary life in and beyond motherhood. Learning to be a calm, anchoring presence in your home and at work is going to be your superpower. If you're here to do the inner work that brings a sense of calm amidst the chaos, I'm here to join you on that journey. Each time you press play, your growth continues. So let's get at it. Hey, Michelle Grosser here, your master coach, and welcome to the Calm Mom Podcast. So grateful you're spending time with us today. It has been a busy week here at Casa Grosser. We have had so much going on, beautiful stuff, good stuff, but a lot of it in a short amount of time. I've had a bunch of coaching calls this week, amazing. So many discovery calls. You guys are booking those out the wazoo, and it has been amazing. I have had the chance this week to meet so many of you and hear your stories, talk about what's going on in your life, talk about your wins and your frustrations and your families and all the things, the ways in which it can support you as you regulate your nervous system. It's been amazing. Law firm was super active this week. It just came to be that a bunch of stuff was due around the same time, so a lot going on there. And then it was a really full week for our church. We do a monthly outreach the last Saturday of every month. So we had this beach cleanup. We did that this weekend, and I shared message on Sunday, plus all the normal, parenting stuff, house stuff, life stuff. And it's a lot. And I thank God not every week is at that pace, but this one was. And I'll be honest with you guys, I woke up yesterday and I was just ticked off at the world. Like, no one had done anything to upset me. It wasn't my kids. Jeff wasn't even around. But I just rolled out of bed ready to rumble. And it happens once in a while. And I know I'm not alone because I've talked to enough of you about it. And because we are human beings. And I'll be honest with you guys, like I used to not handle those moments very well. Like I would let that bad mood just kind of drag on and simmer, and I would let it infect everything and everyone around me. And like, let's call it what it is. I was just immature in that bad mood. And as I've grown over the years, praise God, and as I'm believing that this is going to help someone today, like now that I understand my body, now that I understand my mind, now that I understand my nervous system and just myself, right? My being so much better. I've really grown and matured in so many ways. And waking up in a bad mood, it doesn't derail me like it once did. So what I want to do today is I want to just take a second to talk over 3 things that really make a difference for me and for a lot of my clients when I wake up really cranky. And I'm willing to bet they're going to make a difference for you too. Okay, so number 1, when I wake up in a really bad mood, the first thing that I do, even as I'm laying in bed, because you can kind of feel it, right? Like you're tossing and turning and like you just like feel it rising up before your feet even hit the ground. The first thing I do is I accept it instead of trying to fight it. I do. Like I tell myself, okay, I feel this. It's okay, right? Maybe everything I feel like doing or everything I feel like saying when I'm feeling super crabby isn't okay. But it's certainly okay to feel that way, right? I remind myself like, okay, Michelle, every part of you is welcome. It's all okay. There's no bad emotions. Maybe it's what we do when we're experiencing certain emotions that isn't great, but there's no bad emotions. And I release my attachment to how I think I should feel, right? This is how a woman, this is how a wife, this is how a mom should wake up. Like all of that is garbage. I feel how I feel and I accept how I feel because guys, it's exhausting to deny and fight our feelings. Like it just is. And then what happens is it becomes this vicious cycle, right? The more that we repress that emotion, the more that pressure builds up, right? Like that pressure cooker until it starts to seep out in ways that are not in alignment with how I want to show up in my life, right? They come out in a little snide comment there and a little, short temper here. And if I ignore my bad mood or I shove it aside, guys, it doesn't disappear. We are in and out beings. I talk about that a lot, right? The air we breathe in, it comes out. The food we eat comes in and it comes out. The things we drink, it comes in and it comes out. And the same is true for our life experience. It comes in, it's processed, and it's got to have a way out. Our emotions have got to come in and out. We have to complete that cycle and close that loop. So if I ignore my bad mood and I shove it aside, it doesn't disappear. It doesn't go away. We're in and out beings. What happens with those emotions that aren't cycled, that aren't released, is that they store up in our bodies, right? Whatever chemicals are released, if it's adrenaline or cortisol or whatever is released, stores up in our system and it causes an increase in our baseline stress level. And an increase in our baseline stress level dysregulates our nervous system. And at its most basic fundamental level, it makes us sick, unwell, dis-ease. So I don't fight it anymore. Like, do I sit and wallow in it? No, but I accept it because it's there and it's reality and I don't want to live in denial. And that kind of brings me to point number 2. So point number 1, I accept it instead of trying to avoid it, deny it, or suppress it. And then number 2 is I get curious instead of judgmental. I get curious instead of getting judgmental about myself, to myself. I get curious, curiosity over judgment, right? Compassion over judgment. I feel like this is going to become my life's mission, my life's motto, that we all understand the power in having curiosity for what's going on over judging for others and for ourselves. Because here's the thing, our body's always communicating with us, right? So if I wake up ticked off at the world, that's just a message. That's just a signal. It doesn't mean anything about me as a mom, as a wife, as a woman, as a business owner, as a human being. It's just information. And when we're quick to judge ourselves, you guys, when we're really hard on ourselves, we get on this whole thing like, oh, I'm in a bad mood, I'm a bad mom, like whatever it is, when we're quick to judge ourselves for having emotions, we are not great interpreters of the message being sent. So get curious, right? I wonder what's going on here. I woke up, ticked off. I wonder why I'm feeling so upset. You can journal about it, take 5 minutes in bed before you get out of bed. You can jump in the shower, talk it over with yourself. You can go on a walk. That's great stimulation for getting the juices flowing and figuring things out and understanding what's going on with us. Really give yourself a bit of space. Get curious and unpack it. Like maybe I'm just freaking exhausted. For me, and I know this is what happened yesterday, real talk, like I know where I am in my cycle. And when it is a certain time of the month, my mood is just affected. It just is. Maybe there's something I've been, putting off that's leaving me feeling out of alignment. And that's causing this dissonance. That's causing me to feel off this morning or upset this morning or angry or cranky. Maybe there's something I need to deal with I've been avoiding, right? And this is how it's showing up. Maybe I'm working a lot, right? Life has just been so serious and so tough lately, right? Maybe I've just been going, and my inner child is feeling super neglected and is like, hey, I want to have some fun today, or I want to have some opportunity for creativity today. Or maybe like resentment is creeping in because I'm not getting enough, help around the house. Like it could be a million things, you guys, but it is something. It is something. It might be a lot of some things, but it's not nothing. There's a reason for everything. So instead of judging ourselves, we've got to get curious. And when we get curious and we start to try to unpack some of this stuff, what happens is that we're going to grow in our awareness. And when we grow in our awareness of the stimulus and the effect, that allows us to make a conscious choice, right? We're not just living in this like flying by the seat of our pants, just going at such a speed that we have no idea what's going on or why it's happening. It allows us to slow down, grow in awareness, and then make a conscious choice and a conscious decision. I realize this is happening. I think it might be because X, Y, and Z, and now I can decide. Now I have options. I can decide how I want to proceed, how I want to deal with it. Hear me out for a second. Are you the strong, silent type? Do you ever feel tired and maybe you struggle to take action? Or I bet you have all of these great thoughts and these ideas and opinions, but maybe you have a hard time expressing yourself. Are you really down to earth? You hold everything all together. Maybe people have even told you that they admire how strong you are. But on the inside, life and motherhood actually feel pretty hard. You might have thought that all of these things are just parts of your personality, but they're actually coping mechanisms that you've picked up over the course of your life. And they're having a huge impact on how you show up, especially in motherhood. Are you curious to know more? You got to take my personality patterns quiz. Here's what's going on. When you were a child, whenever an experience overwhelmed your nervous system, you subconsciously built a defense against that overwhelm. Over time, those defenses became habits and then they became patterns. And now that we're adults, what we think of as our personality is often this defense pattern running the show. It's so interesting, right? There are 5 different personality patterns, and they're not personality types like the Enneagram, but rather they describe our safety strategies that we immediately go to when we start to feel overwhelmed. They don't actually describe who we are, but what is blocking who we actually are. The good news is that once you take the quiz, learn about your pattern, you can learn skills to break out of that pattern, and then you can live and parent as your true and authentic self. Click on the quiz link in the show notes or go to michellegrosser.com/quiz now to take my 2-minute personality pattern quiz. So number 1, I accept it instead of trying to fight it. Number 2, I put aside the judgment and I try to get curious, find a place of self-compassion. And then number 3, this is such a good one. I turn to vulnerability instead of playing the victim. This one's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow, you guys, but it's so freaking good. I was in a coaching session with my coach years ago, and I was telling this story, and I was really upset, and I didn't realize how much of a pity party I was having, right? We only play 2 roles in the story of our lives, right? We're always the star of the show in our own lives. It's just reality. And we're either the hero or we're the victim. It's true. I mean, think about it. In every story, you're either the hero or the victim. Every disagreement with your husband, everything that happened with your parents, everything with your siblings, everything with your kids, like you're either the hero or the victim. It's just true. And in this story that I was telling my coach, like, let me just say I was not the hero. And my coach called me out so gently, like great coaches do. And she said, hey, I hear what you're saying. I hear how much this is actually hurting you. And I'm going to invite you now to shift out of victim and into a place of vulnerability, right? She's like, can you try to do that? And guys, it all shifted. Like, instead of complaining, instead of being angry, instead of having all my energy go out, I shifted from being the victim to being vulnerable. And I told her how whatever, that bad experience had wounded me and how I'd felt alone, and it just seemed so unfair, and that really made me angry because I couldn't do anything about it, whatever it was. And I still remind myself of this often because it's a powerful reframe. It's a powerful mindset shift we can give ourselves, offer ourselves. I use it and you can too. I wake up in this cranky mood, right? And my instinct right away is I want to play the victim. I'm exhausted. I didn't get any sleep. No one around here helps out. I do everything. It's a mess. Like, no one knows how hard all of this is, whatever. All the victim stuff. And guys, don't hear me. Don't mishear me. A lot of that, all of that even, could be true. But to just sit and wallow in that and make myself and everyone around me miserable in this pity party, it actually doesn't serve me or my family very well. So when I exchange that pity party for vulnerability, it can be all the same issues, you guys. These could be very real, very true things. But instead of coming at it from a place of poor me, this sucks, to a place of I'm going to be vulnerable and I'm going to share from a place of honesty about how I'm feeling. So I'll wake up and I'll tell Jeff or even the girls sometimes, like, or I'll call a friend or my mom, whatever. I'm not sure what's going on with me today. I'm not sure what's going on with me today, but I feel off. I don't feel good today. I feel like I'm going to have a short temper. I feel like I have a short fuse. It's not going to take a lot to set me off today. And it's not you. It's not you. And depending on how old your kids are, if you want to share this with them, I think it can be a really beautiful act of transparency. And it can be a beautiful teaching moment. And you can word it in a way that's age appropriate. But I tell them, I am off today. Mom's having a hard day. Don't feel good this morning. Right? And I tell Jeff the same thing. And I make it clear, especially to my kids, like, you didn't do anything. It's not your fault. How I feel is my thing, right? It's absolutely not, has nothing to do with you. But I'm just telling you how I feel today because sometimes that happens. Sometimes it happens. It's going to happen to you too. It has happened to you. It does happen to you. And I just tell him, like, I got some stuff. Jeff, I know I've got some stuff I got to work through today. I'm not really sure where this is coming from. I'm going to take some time to unpack it. But what I could really use from you today is a little extra kindness, maybe an extra hug, maybe an encouraging word or some gentleness, maybe an extra chocolate, like whatever it is. Those are all the things that help me when I wake up cranky, but ask for whatever it is that helps you. That helps you. You exchange your victim for vulnerability. And there's so much good there. There's so much better communication there. There's so much growth there. There's so much healing and acceptance there, right? And you're eventually, like all of us, right? That bad mood turns around. but I'm not causing harm in the interim. So number 1, I accept it instead of trying to fight it. Number 2, I get curious instead of judgmental. What does this anger, this crankiness, this irritability mean? What is it communicating to me? What does it need? And then 3rd, I turn to vulnerability instead of playing the victim. So good. All right. I am so grateful for you guys. I'm so grateful you would spend this time with me. If you enjoyed this episode, or if you've enjoyed any other episode, if you found any of it helpful, if you found any of it encouraging, if you've put any of it into practice in your own life, would you please leave a review for the show or 5-star rating if you haven't done so yet? Man, just a couple words, just a couple sentences on something that's been eye-opening for you, an aha moment. Maybe even take a screenshot of the episode and share it on social media. Tag me or share it with a friend. It would mean so much to me, and I would be so, so grateful. All right, I love you guys so much. I will see you again soon. Later.
If you love Mommy's Podcast, leave a review.
If you enjoyed this episode, it would be so awesome if you could take a moment to subscribe and rate the podcast. And if you have just a few more seconds to leave a quick review, they really help to get this podcast out to other moms like you. I read every last review, and trust me, when it's late at night or early in the morning before my kids get up and I'm working on bringing you all of this content, your reviews are what keep me going. Leaving a review is truly the best way you can thank me. And of course, DM me on Instagram. I love to hear from you. Thanks for listening to another episode. Head over to the show notes for this episode and all past episodes at michellegrosser.com, where you'll find free resources and more ways to connect with me. If you love the show, share it with a friend. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time.